Sean Diddy Combs has been hit with another lawsuit just as he settles his first.
Federal agents searched two of his properties as part of an investigation into alleged sex and drug trafficking.
If you've been tuned into the media scene lately, you can't have missed the buzz surrounding a certain individual. Whether you know him as P Diddy, Puff Daddy, Brother Love, or simply Sean John Combs, his name seems to be everywhere. Now, it's no secret that when you've been in the game for over 4 decades, carving out a career as a rapper, producer, and mogul, and amassing a fortune in the billions, you're bound to attract a fair share of attention, both positive and negative. But as they say, not every voice sings the same tune. And as of late, Diddy has found himself at the center of a storm of sexual assault allegations. Let's break it all down. Raids on Diddy's homes. On March 25, 2024, officials from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security raided Sean Diddy Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami. They were looking into some serious allegations, including sex trafficking, sexual assault, and dealing illegal drugs and firearms.
The feds at his houses in both locations. This is a live look right now. On the left, that's West Coast, that's LA. On the right, that's Miami Beach you're looking at.
During the raids, federal agents discovered firearms at Diddy's properties in both Los Angeles and Miami. In Manhattan, federal officials interviewed 3 women and a man as part of the ongoing investigation. However, it's still uncertain whether Diddy himself is the main focus of the probe. Diddy's lawyer, Aaron Dyer, wasn't happy about how the raids went down. He said they used too much force and were hostile. Dyer called the raids a witch hunt, based on lawsuits with no real evidence. You know what? I think they're after something specific, and that's video footage, just like in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Just like that situation, multiple people have come forward and filed lawsuits against Diddy. They claim he recorded sexual encounters with celebrities and had cameras everywhere. And they allege he had this disturbing habit of filming himself abusing others or capturing others abusing each other for his own pleasure. Which allegations and who made them? I'll get right into it.
Savage! I'm a savage! Oh!
Cassie Ventura. Firstly, a lawsuit was filed by none other than R&B singer Cassie, also known as Cassie Ventura. Signed under Diddy's label, Bad Boy Records, Cassie wasn't just another artist in the log. Her connection with Diddy ran deeper, evolving over time from professional to personal, as she also became his longtime girlfriend. On November 16, 2023, Cassie took legal action against Diddy by filing a lawsuit in federal court. In her lawsuit, Cassie also said that this controlling behavior started when she was only 19, back in 2005, when she first met Diddy, who was 37 at the time. And just a few months later, in February 2006, she signed a big 10-album deal with his record label. The lawsuit paints a picture of Diddy as a classic abuser. According to Cassie, he took control of everything from her apartment and car to her wardrobe and even her medical records, all in an effort to keep her firmly under his control. That's not all. Diddy's alleged retaliation went as far as targeting rapper Kid Cudi, who had a brief relationship with Cassie during a rocky period in her and Diddy's relationship back in 2011. The lawsuit claimed that in February 2012, Diddy even blew up Kid Cudi's car because Cassie had gone to his house to run away from Diddy. And ominously enough, as the legal papers suggest, Kid Cudi's car did indeed explode in his driveway around that time. Cudi confirmed Cassie's account through a statement given by his spokesperson, stating, "This is all true." But that's just scratching the surface of the lawsuit. Cassie claimed that Diddy used intimidation tactics to keep her under control of the fear that if she did reach out to the cops for help, he would find a way to hurt her. Singer and songwriter Tiffany Red, who had been a longtime friend of Cassie, also spoke out, stating that she had seen Diddy verbally abusing and pressurizing her friend. The lawsuit further alleged that people close to the founder of Bad Boy Records ignored the physical abuse happening out of fear. In the filing, there was a particular incident from 2009 cited, which said that after Diddy allegedly kicked Cassie in the face a bunch of times, it made her bleed, and to hide this, Diddy then made his staff hide her in a hotel room. He even had a tight grip on Cassie's life, even going so far as to get her medical records sent directly to his email. When Cassie started having memory issues, possibly from using too many drugs or from injuries caused by Mr. Combs's beatings, her MRI results were sent straight to him. And he didn't stop there. He often had his staff drive Cassie to specific doctor appointments. In another shocking revelation from the legal documents, Cassie alleges that Diddy forced her into participating in freak-offs. This arrangement left her with no choice but to plan and engage in sexual acts with male sex workers while Diddy watched. What's even more disturbing is that Diddy reportedly took photos and videos of these encounters. Cassie tried to delete the videos from her phone, but it was futile. She once had to watch footage on a flight that she thought she had deleted. Cassie claimed she resorted to taking large amounts of drugs to disassociate herself during these horrifying encounters, which eventually led to addiction. According to the legal filing, Diddy allegedly forced his way into Cassie's home and raped her in 2018, despite her repeatedly saying no and trying to push him away. This traumatic incident led Cassie to finally end her relationship with him for good. Additionally, she severed ties with Bad Boy Records in 2019. Cassie's civil suit was then filed under the Adult Survivors Act, which gives victims of sexual abuse a one-year window to bring cases in New York after statutes of limitations expire. Cassie stated that this opportunity allowed her to speak out about the trauma she endured and will continue to recover from. However, Diddy denied the accusations, and both sides decided to settle the matter out of court. They didn't disclose the settlement terms, which happened just a day after Cassie filed the lawsuit. Diddy released a statement on November 18th, saying they chose to resolve things amicably and wishing Cassie and her family the best. By settling out of court, Diddy avoided the possibility of new evidence coming out during legal proceedings. His lawyer, Ben Brafman, clarified on November 20th that settling doesn't mean admitting guilt. 50 Cent. Diddy has faced allegations of abuse before, and there's been someone dropping hints about his suspicious behavior long before the lawsuits began. That someone is none other than 50 Cent. He's been vocal, repeatedly claiming that Diddy is fruity and making other negative remarks about him. Back in 2018, Diddy denied these claims, but 50 Cent has been rather vocal about his disdain for Diddy's actions. However, 2024 hasn't been smooth sailing for Diddy. Following the raids on his home, 50 Cent wasted no time and started working on a documentary about Diddy's sexual assault allegations. Confirming the news in a tweet on December 7th, 50 Cent stated, "G-Unit film and television proceeds from this documentary will go to victims of sexual assault and rape." Alongside the tweet was a clip from the project where former Bad Boy Records rapper Mark Curry talks about the wild parties hosted by Diddy. Curry alleges that Diddy would spike champagne with drugs for women to consume, leaving them unaware they were being drugged. And that's not all. With all this going on, videos have resurfaced about Diddy and people have started making speculations. Justin Bieber. Among these allegations is one involving Justin Bieber. An old video of Diddy and Justin Bieber has popped up on social media again. And honestly, I agree with why people are feeling queasy about the idea that Diddy might have been grooming the young star when he was underage. In the video, Diddy, who was 40 at the time, is seen with Bieber, who was probably around 15, and making all those promises to the young star. seems suspicious. And considering all those allegations, do you really think everyone is lying about the same things? Bieber himself has talked about how being around Diddy's wild lifestyle affected him a lot. And unfortunately, that's not the only famous name that people have been suspicious about being linked to Diddy when they were underage. Usher. Diddy has been accused of grooming Usher, who is speculated to be the Super Bowl performer mentioned in a lawsuit. These allegations stem from claims made by Diddy's former bodyguard and a lawsuit filed by producer Lil Rod. At just 13 years old, Usher caught the attention of LaFace Records after impressing co-founder Antonio L.A. Reid during an audition. In his memoir, Sing to Me, Reid revealed that he struggled to market the young Usher and wanted him to have more edge. So he sent Usher to Combs, asking him to teach the singer some swagger and flavor. Usher moved to New York in 1994, making him around 15 at the time, while Combs was 25. What possible knowledge could a teen need that couldn't have been given without him being present in a highly inappropriate environment for a kid? Usher's 2016 interview on The Howard Stern Show has recently made rounds on social media following the raid on Diddy's homes. Why? Because of the way Usher denied any sexual parties going on, he also vehemently shut down the possibility of ever sending his own kid to such an environment. Could it be that Usher was afraid of some backlash? Was it something else? It looks like time is about to reveal that pretty soon, but there's someone who didn't like this complacent denial of Usher. Another former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has also blamed Diddy for grooming Usher. Usher lived with Diddy for a year when the singer was a teenager. Deal mentioned an incident at the Swiss Hotel where something inappropriate allegedly happened between Diddy and Usher. And he thinks Usher should speak out about what he experienced with Diddy. He seems to be trying to encourage Usher to share his story. All these incidents have been disregarded as minimal for years. But why are they resurfacing now? What lawsuits have I been talking about? Let's get right into it. Joy Dickerson Neal. The second person to come forward with sexual abuse allegations against Diddy was Joy Dickerson Neal. She filed a complaint in Manhattan Supreme Court on November 23, 2023, just one day before the New York State Adult Survivors Act expired. Now, what did the lawsuit allege? Apparently, the lawsuit states that the plaintiff had been part of the same social circle as Diddy. They had even worked together on the music video. But Diddy was incessant about taking her out, and she says she initially said no to him because of rumors about how he treated women. But eventually, she gave in reluctantly and agreed to have dinner with him. According to the lawsuit, both of them went for dinner on January 3, 1991, at a restaurant in Harlem, New York City, while Neal was on winter break from school. She claims that allegedly Diddy drugged her to the extent that she couldn't even stand or walk on her own. According to the lawsuit, that happened when she left her drink alone with him at the restaurant. After which, Diddy even pressured her to take a hit from the blunt. After dinner, both of them headed to a music studio. When Neal couldn't get out of the car, Diddy allegedly took her to where he was staying and sexually assaulted her, as claimed in the filing. Shortly after the alleged sexual assault, the plaintiff said that she allegedly found out that Diddy had secretly recorded the incident without her knowing or agreeing to it. Devontae Swing, a friend they both knew, allegedly told her that Diddy had shown him the tape. When she asked who else had seen it, Devontae supposedly said, "Everyone." Devontae reportedly said he wanted to speak out against Diddy, but he was afraid that his band Jodeci might lose their record deal. And what if I tell you that it's quite common when it comes to lawsuit? There's even a name for it, bystander betrayal. It's a sad part of lawsuits involving sexual assault. It happens when people around don't speak out against the assault. usually because they're scared. Diddy and his legal team flatly denied this lawsuit too. His legal team released a statement calling the entire claim a money grab scheme, and the legal troubles didn't end there. Liza Gardner. Another person stepped forward, claiming Diddy and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns sexually assaulting her and a friend back in 1990 or 1991. This all allegedly happened after they met at a party hosted by MCA Records in New York City. After the party, Diddy and Hall invited the women to hang out at Hall's place for an after-party. Once there, they were offered more drinks and pressured into having sex with Diddy. But it didn't stop there. According to the accuser, after Diddy finished, Hall burst into the room and assaulted Gardner too. The next day, Diddy allegedly showed up at Gardner's door and attacked her, choking her until she passed out. Gardner also claims to have a letter from her therapist and an affidavit from a friend confirming that she discussed the assault in 2014 and 2019, respectively. An excerpt from the therapist's letter was noted on the 18th of February 2014, where the client disclosed being sexually assaulted by two men in New York when she was 16 years old. And just like all the other lawsuits, Diddy's legal team also denied this one. And then you fast forward to December 2023, another unidentified woman came forward with allegations against Diddy. In the lawsuit, the anonymous plaintiff recounted being approached by Pierre at a lounge in Michigan and persuaded by him and Diddy to take a private jet to a recording studio in New York City to meet up with the rapper. According to court documents, Diddy had expressed his desire to meet her over the phone. Once at the studio, the plaintiff alleged that the defendants drugged her, gave her alcohol, and then proceeded to gang RR*PE her, one after the other. Afterward, the plaintiff was in a state where she could barely stand or walk, and she had to be assisted out of the building and taken back to the airport for her flight home. She had limited memory of the journey home and only recalled being in her car early in the morning with her underwear missing. The lawsuit had many photos of the woman in what she claims is Diddy's studio. One of the pictures showed her sitting on Diddy's lap on the night of the alleged assault. Following all these recent sexual assault allegations, Sean Diddy Combs responded with a firm statement: "Enough is enough." On the same day, this lawsuit was filed. He vehemently denied all the accusations and accused the accusers of seeking a quick payday. But this was just the start, and so came this biggest lawsuit, reportedly $30 million, and there was some proof. Rodney Jones. The one who brought this lawsuit against Diddy was none other than Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a former record producer and videographer. He filed this new lawsuit against Diddy on Monday, February 26, 2024, in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. The list of defendants for this lawsuit might just surprise you. It included Cuba Gooding Jr., Diddy himself, Diddy's son, Justin Combs, Lucian Grange, who was the CEO of Universal Music Group, Christina Coram, who was Diddy's Combs' chief of staff, Love Records, Motown Records, Combs Global Enterprises, and Universal Music Group as well. You can bet that the lawsuit wasn't just a couple of pages. It was actually a whopping 79 pages long and detailing 15 different legal reasons or grounds for a lawsuit. Rodney Jones has accused Diddy of sexual harassment, drugging, and threats during their time working together from September 2022 to November 2023. He says he has video and audio evidence of Diddy and his staff involved in serious illegal activities for over a year. The lawsuit starts by stating that Jones stayed with Diddy from September 2022 to November 2023, while he collaborated on 9 songs for Diddy's Love album. During this time, he witnessed and experienced actions beyond his role as a music producer and gathered evidence, including witness statements and recordings, showing Diddy and his associates engaging in illegal activities. Let's break it all down bit by bit. The first allegation was that the details Diddy provided to the cops about the shooting on September 12, 2022, at Chalice Recording Studio in Los Angeles, California, were fabricated. Diddy had organized a writers and producers camp where his son, Justin Combs, and a friend named G, among others, were present. During the camp, there was a heated conversation involving Diddy, Justin, and G, who later moved to a restroom nearby where Jones was sitting. And that's when Jones heard gunshots and found G injured in the restroom. Just before Diddy and his son left, Diddy came up to Rodney, who was helping G and getting help. Rodney says Diddy told him to lie to the cops about the shooting, making up a story about some drive-by attack outside the studio and insisting that Diddy was innocent. Rodney even mentioned having witnesses to back him up, but they were scared of Diddy's possible revenge. Along with visual evidence, Rodney also believes his clothing from that day may still have stains and DNA from G's blood. Another legal claim targets entities such as Universal Music Group and Motown Records for the shooting incident. It's based on a premises liability theory, alleging that they didn't meet their duty to provide adequate security at Chalice Studios, which could have prevented the shooting. That's not all. Another allegation is that when Jones lived with Diddy for a while, Diddy kept touching him inappropriately, like grabbing his butt without his consent. Jones claimed that he even had to work in Diddy's bathroom while Diddy was taking showers and walking around undressed. He further alleges that when he finally spoke up about it to Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, she didn't take it seriously. She just brushed it off, saying something like, "Oh, that's just how Diddy is." In fact, Jones claimed that whenever Diddy started undressing, Christina would conveniently leave, leaving Jones alone with him. That's not even the start of the allegations. The lawsuit alleged that Diddy knew how Jones really looked up to a rapper named Stevie and used Jones's admiration for him to try and convince him to get involved in homosexuality, along with dangling the possibility of him getting a Grammy. He even showed Jones a video of Stevie J doing some sexual stuff with another guy without protection and said it was totally normal in the music world. The lawsuit further alleged that Diddy even name-dropped famous rappers he engaged in sexual relationships with. One of them was hinted to be a rapper from Philadelphia who dated Nicki Minaj, which many people think is Meek Mill. Then there's an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful residency in Vegas, which people believe was Usher. And of course, Stevie J himself was mentioned. Diddy, who allegedly had his cameras set up, showed Jones private screenshots of Stevie J with another guy. Another allegation was that on Thanksgiving Day 2022, at Diddy's Miami house, Jones was offered cocaine but turned it down. Then, out of nowhere, Young Miami's cousin barged into the bathroom and tried to get intimate with Jones. She even followed him out, trying to get frisky right in front of Diddy and the crew, who did nothing to help him out. Jones pushed her away, and the whole thing was caught on video. In the Trafficking and Victims Protection Act section of the lawsuit, Jones alleged that during his time with Diddy, Jones was taken all over the place: California, New York, Florida, even the US Virgin Islands. That's not all. He accused Diddy of making him bring prostitutes to his Miami home and perform sexual acts for him on February 4th, 2023. Jones reported that he woke up in a daze, undressed in bed with 2 sex workers and Diddy. He felt like he'd been drugged. Another time, Diddy made Jones hit up a strip joint called Booby Trap on the river in Miami and forcefully engage with sex workers there. Another allegation against Diddy included soliciting, drugging, and engaging in illicit sex acts with minors and sex workers during a party in California in July 2023 when he had a listening party at his home where underage girls were present. Another allegation was that while working with Diddy, Jones didn't get paid fairly for his songs like Deliver Me and Stay PT 1-inch on the Love album. When Jones tried to talk about fair pay, Diddy only offered him $29,000 for months of work and 9 songs. And when Jones asked for his rightful share of publishing and royalties, Diddy said no. Frustrated, Jones went on social media to speak up, but he got threats from Stevie J and DeForest Taylor at Love Records A&R. Other than that, there's this other incident where Diddy supposedly confessed to being involved in a shooting at a New York City nightclub back in 1999. He said that during a fight with his son Justin, someone innocent got shot, and he had to lie to the cops and say it was a drive-by shooting. Diddy's drug mule arrested. And it looks like Diddy's downfall isn't really that fall. With all the raids and investigations, law enforcement has been keeping a tight eye on his circle. The guy accused of being Diddy's drug mule got busted at the Miami airport while trying to hop on a private jet with the music big shot. Brendan Paul, a 25-year-old, was charged with having cocaine and some candy that they think has marijuana in it. They took him to jail at the Turner Guilford Night Correctional Center, but let him out the next day after he paid a $2,500 bond. And apparently, Diddy himself has stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt TV, the media company he co-founded in 2013, ever since the allegations started. Stay tuned for more updates on this ongoing saga. There's still a lot more to unfold, and I'll keep you posted on all the latest developments. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay in the loop and get notified as soon as new information comes to light. Thanks for tuning in.